Good morning everybody, and thank you for joining me again. Now, as you can see, back on the stubble field. Unfortunately, it hasn't been ploughed. I don't know why. Personally, I think he's leaving it a little bit late. But, not to worry. I'm in this particular field because there's an area across there that I want to investigate further, because the old maps show an old public footpath running through the middle of it, but I'll show you that a little bit later on. Now there's also something else I want to show you, which is over to your right slightly, so let's just take a quick look at that. Now then, that field there is the field that I was talking about. I have to walk through that field all the time to get up to the top of this permission to get onto the various stubble fields and ploughed fields. Now I've been in it a couple of times before, but with limited success. The reason being that before now I've only had on the stock coil, but as you know, just lately I've been using the big coil most of the time. Now I think the other reason I had limited success is because the grass was too long as well, but it looks as though it's been cut in the not too distant past. So with the big coil in the BP mode, the boost program, after I've finished in the stubble fields, I'm going to go in there and give it a couple of hours just to see if we can turn anything up. Okie dokie. Right then, let's go and do some stubble surfing. Right my good friends, we've got another little find down here, not exactly what I was looking for. It's just part of an old spoon. But there you go. I suppose it's better than a shotgun cap end. Marginally. Right, we'll pop it in the bag and we'll get a bit further. Right then my good friends, as you can see I'm in the edge of the stubble field at the moment with an aeroplane. We've got a target down here. It's coming up at a solid 80 on the Technetics, a good repeatable signal everywhere. So I'll get back to you when I've dug it up and we've found out what it is. Well, here it is my friends. It was about 6 or 7 inches deep, and it's a little rectangular buckle, as you can see just there, probably from the 1700s. It's got no decoration on it, but I'm not bothered, it's a nice little find. Right, we'll pop it into the box and we'll get a bit further. Right then my good friends, we've got another target down here. I've already dug it up because it was a very iffy signal. Anyway, it turns out to be a coin. I don't think it's anything to shout about though. It came up, I mean, now I've got it out of the ground, it's coming up at a solid 79, but before I dug it up, it was hovering over 50, 65-ish, don't know why, but there you go. Anyway, as I said, we've got a little coin, which is just there, my friends, and I'll just let you have a closer look at it. Right, well, there's the coin in question, my friends. In fact, I can even see a date on it. It's 1903, which, if I'm not mistaken, means it's Edward the 7th, I think. I think he was on the throne until 1910. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, sounds like Buffalo Bill's still out. Ah, well there you go. Right, it's a nice little find anyway. We'll pop it in the box and get a little bit further. Now then, just before we have a listen to this signal, this is the part of the stubble field that I wanted to investigate a little further. The reason being that on the Google side-by-side geo-referenced maps, it clearly shows a footpath running up through the field just here. Well, the footpath at the moment runs up the edge of the field, but on the old maps it shows the footpath running diagonally up this way where the camera is, and that's what I'm detecting at the moment. Not the footpath that's being used now, the one that was used in the 1800s. Okie dokie. Right, we've got a signal down here. It's coming up at a solid 80. Right, we'll give it a dig and see what we've got. Well, my good friends, this is what happens when you use the BP program on the Technetics, the Boost program. As you can see, it's deep. There's the pinpointer, so the hole is probably about 12, possibly even 13 inches deep. And unfortunately, it's nothing to shout about because it's a piece of shrapnel. But I don't mind digging shrapnel up because it's a constant reminder of our own history in England. It'll be from the Second World War, more than likely part of an anti-aircraft shell. But it's a big bugger. Anyway, we'll pop it in the bag and we'll get a little bit further. Right then, my good friends, we've got another target down here. I've already dug it up, save a bit of time. Came up at a solid 67 on the Technetics ID scale. We've got a little coin, and by the looks of it, it looks like a farthing. But I'll bring you in a bit closer and we'll have a better look. Right then, here we are. It's about maybe 8 or 9 inches deep. As I said, it looks like a little farthing to me. Bronze in colour, so it's possibly Edward VII, but a nice little find all the same. And once again, the Technetics hits the mark bang on. Right then, we'll pop it in the box and I think I'll go for a spot of lunch. Now then, I said I was going for a spot of lunch. As you can see, I'm sat just over there. But on my way back, got a cracking signal here. A solid 77 all the way around. So we'll just pop that down and we'll give it a dig. This field is absolutely full of rock. This may take some time. Well, this one fooled me a little bit. I was slightly out with my calculations. Anyway, I've eventually found it, and it's down there, my friends. Looks as though it's stuck to the side of the hole. It's not a coin. It looks like a little leather mount, probably from a harness or something like that. But I don't mind those. I'll dig those up all day. I think they're lovely little finds. Anyway, we'll pop it in the bag and I'll try and get some lunch now. Right then, my good friends, well, as you can see, I've moved into the other field now. I've been in here about 45 minutes and so far all I've found is a few pieces of lead and some modern coinage. Anyway, we've got a signal down here. It's coming up at a steady 71 on the Technetics. It's out of the hole, and to me, it looks like another piece of lead. But anyway, I'll bring you in a little bit closer so you can have a better look. Right, my friends, well, as I said, it's out of the hole, and it's just there, whatever it is. I suspect it's another piece of lead. Now, on one side it looks just like a lead blob, but on the other side it looks as though it might just have got something interesting on it. I could be clutching at straws like I usually do, but you never know your luck. Anyway, we'll pop it into the box and we'll see if we can find anything else in this field. Right then, my good friends, I'm detecting on this banking just here, we've got a signal down here. It's coming up at a steady 70 on the ID scale. Good solid signal all the way around. So I'll give it a dig and I'll come back to you when I found out what it is. Right then, my good friends, well, they do say that good things come to those who wait, and I've waited all day, but this time we have got something worth looking at. We've got ourselves a nice little ring. I know it looks very dull and black and battered, but it looks like a tiny little silver ring. I don't know how old it is. It could be very old. Anyway, I don't care. Right then, I'll check the hole first just to make sure there's no more jewellery in it, which I doubt very much. And then we'll plod on a bit further, my friends. That's an absolutely cracking find. Right then, my friends, I'm just heading up to the top of the field where the beehives are in the corner. Got a target down here. It's about 8-9 inches deep. Came up at 72 on the ID scale, and I think we've got another coin still in the clump just there, but I'll bring you in a bit closer so you can have a better look. Right, my friends, here we are, and as I said, the coin is still in the clump just there. I have noticed that the soil in this field is considerably drier than it is in the other field where all the stubble is. Don't know why, but there you go. Anyway, there's the coin in question. Looks like a halfpenny. Could be Victoria, could be another Edward, don't really know. Might not get anything off it at all. Anyway, we'll pop it into the box and we'll get a bit further. Well, actually, I'm saying get a bit further. This is going to be my last signal because time is getting on and they have forecast rain. So if I don't see you again, I'll see you at home for the roundup, my friends. Okay, bye for now. Right then, let's have a look at the finds. Well, that's just some of the rubbish that I dug up. Part of the spoon bowl, some kind of hitch mechanism off a tractor, I think. That's just one piece of lead. I dug up about another 7 or 8 pieces of lead, another one there. I also dug up some ring pulls and some scraps of aluminium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little buttons, some decimal coinage, 10p piece, pound coin, 2p, 2p, half a decimal pence. That was the leather mount that I dug up. That is the little rectangular buckle. It actually has got some decoration on it, but it's very, very faint. It's so tiny, I can only assume that it's a shoe buckle. That piece of lead there, I think, is some sort of early attempt at casting a piece of lead. They were obviously trying to make something with it, but I don't really know what. But there you go. Queen Victoria halfpence, can't get a date off it. That is the Edward VII penny that I dug up. And the date on that, if I remember rightly, is 1903. That is the Edward VII farthing. Can't get a date off it. There's virtually nothing on the other side at all, which is unusual for his coins. And obviously the star find was this beautiful little silver ring. And it took me an absolute age to clean it up, especially the inside. I think you can just about see the 925 mark just there inside it. You might be able to see that. I will put a picture in the video actually to show what it was like before I cleaned it up. And I used the zinc powder. If I hadn't have used the zinc powder, I don't think I would have got it as clean and as shiny as that, because the zinc powder is absolutely wonderful stuff. Anyway, that's the little ring, and those are the finds, my friends. Right, let's continue. Right then, my good friends, those were the finds. Obviously the few coins, the little buckle, and especially the silver ring saved the day, because I spent so many hours wandering round that stubble field and the other field, and all I was finding was absolute rubbish. But there's a funny story to go with this, because I was wandering round for God knows how long before I realised there was something wrong with the audio output from the jack plug into the wireless headphones. Anyway, when I got home I managed to solve the problem. There was something wrong with one of the internal connections inside the jack plug housing. I might have missed a lot of signals, I don't really know. Anyway, not to worry. Right, my good friends, before I forget, don't forget to have a look at that zinc powder. You can get it on Amazon, it's quite cheap, and as I said, if it wasn't for the zinc powder, I don't think I would have been able to clean that silver ring up as well as I did, because it was in a right state when I found it, especially on the inside. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much to all my new viewers and subscribers. Marvellous to have you all on board, and I'll see you all the next time round. Bye bye.